Welcome to Extra Throttle House. I'm Thomas.
And I'm James.
And we're doing another couch chat.
Obviously.
Is it obvious?
It's obvious.
Okay,
So
fair enough.
A few years ago, Thomas and I sat down miles from each other during the pandemic and had a few discussions across the waves. And we decided that as 4 years have passed, 4 years,
Is it 4?
4 years,
Oh!
we are going to revisit some of these things.
Yes.
And back then we did the 10 most fun new cars under 30 grand.
Yep.
Times have changed.
That doesn't even exist.
We've had to move that budget. Actually, one of these cars, two of these cars, it would still be on that list. But we've had to move it to 40 grand.
Yeah. That's sad. And
Sorry.
We always see on Reddit people saying like cars are way too expensive. But when you really look at it that way, that we had a list back then of new cars under $10,000 difference in 4 years is insane. Not acceptable. Car manufacturers, not acceptable.
So the rules for today are it has to be under $40,000 US MSRP,
Yep.
and it has to have been purchasable in 2024 or with a 2024 model year.
Yep.
Some of these can no longer be built on the website.
Yeah, we did kind of look, and we found a lot of cars that were 41 that are used.
Yeah. Or you mean that are used under 40?
That are used under. Sorry, that's right. Yeah, they're used under 40, and a lot of cars that are like 41 grand that are new. But we stuck to the rules of 40 grand and new. They have to be a car that you could like finance or lease from a dealership with a warranty.
Car number one.
Probably needs a warranty.
The 2024 Subaru BRZ and the Toyota GR86.
I only say it needs a warranty because there's been a few engine blow-up issues, and probably if you're buying one of those, I hope you're going to abuse it because
Yes.
they're fun as hell.
They should be pushed.
Yeah.
For $30,000, $195 starting on the Subaru and $29,300 on the Toyota, you get a 228 horsepower, 4-cylinder, manual, naturally aspirated.
With 2,800 pound curb weight. That's just, it is actually incredible to see a 2 in front of it. And you forget, but whenever you drive them, you're always like, oh yeah. There's that like, oh yeah. I'm like, this is why we recommend it to everybody. But I have to reminding myself, it's just such a good car to drive. I love them.
And well, quite a few on this list have a 2 before them on the curb weight.
Yeah.
Which just shows that fun and lightweight go hand in hand. Which would you get? The Subaru or the Toyota?
Not everyone agrees with me, but I like the way the GR86 looks more than the BRZ.
I think people do agree with that.
Do they?
Yeah, our friend Chris, who works over at Motor One, has the BRZ and is swapping out the front for a GR86.
Is he?
Front bumper.
I didn't even know he was doing that.
Yeah.
I'm going to rinse him. I think that it doesn't really matter in the end. Originally, when that car came out, you got the BRZ because you could get a little bit fancier of an interior. There's some better materials or something.
Yes, yeah.
Right, but
some of the silver bits instead of the black plastics.
Yeah. Or they had the digital climate control or whatever it was, a little number in it.
I got that because I couldn't find an 86 on sale at the time.
Really?
Yeah, and the BRZ, I got mine in pearl white.
In the end, you know what? I would just get whatever one is easier to get.
Whichever one.
Yeah.
You're still getting one of the best looking cars under 40 grand, brand new, and one of the best driving, yeah. People say baby Porsche.
It's
fair.
That's fair.
Number 2.
Here we go.
In no particular order. Did we say that?
No, I don't know if we did or not.
No particular order.
There's no order here. It's just a list of 10.
The Mazda MX-5 Miata.
Off you go.
I thought we'd just show some amazing B-roll for a second.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
Do. Put a real song there. No, don't use that. Okay, for 28,895 starting, you could have a 2-litre, naturally aspirated, 4-cylinder, I feel like this is just repeating myself after the Subarus.
Yeah.
Convertible.
But with less horsepower.
with less horsepower,
Yeah.
but
And less seats.
and less seats,
Yeah.
fewer seats, but 500 pounds less curb weight.
That's true. And it does make a difference.
It's a rocket.
It's not a rocket. It's not a rocket. There's nothing
Launches
rockety.
you in 5.5 seconds to 60 if you're good with the manual.
You don't get it for speed. You get it for fun.
You get it for fun, but it's not slow. That's not one of its downfalls. And it just got updated for 2024. ND3, people are calling it. It has new infotainment,
Yep.
radar cruise control,
Yep.
a different LSD,
Yep.
new steering rack.
Whether or not the steering rack makes that much of a difference is up for debate, I think.
Yes, but it's definitely not worse. It's
No, it's not worse.
It's at least a bit better.
It's at least a bit. That is true. There is a difference.
There is a difference.
But it's not like, oh well, just burn the previous one then because this one is night and day. It's not that. It isn't. It isn't that much of a difference. But it's definitely a difference.
Bezel-less rearview mirror now.
It's probably something that only you noticed, and the other guys on the MX-5 forum.
It modernizes the interior and all new electronics as a result of all the new infotainment. So it is better than it's ever been. People get upset. 35,000 for like the good trim US. People are like 35 grand from an MX-5. That's crazy. Except it's not, because adjusted for inflation, it is exactly the same as an NA Miata was in 1991. I think it was like.
Oh really?
A highly spec NA was like 19.5 US. In 1991, and if you do the thing, it's like 37 US now. So
Well, it's too bad you still can't get Seaman Blue.
you cannot get Seaman Blue, unfortunately.
I love this color. This is Seaman Blue.
No, it's Mariner Blue.
Yeah, that's right. Mariner Blue. Mariner Seaman. So, anyway,
One day, you still have to wrap it. It doesn't come in any fun colors, which is not true for the BRZ and GR86.
that's correct. Yeah.
Apart from Sol Red Crystal, which needs no more said. Number 3,
Here it is.
the Mini Cooper JCW.
I like the Mini more than he does. Is it just you rebelling
No,
against your
I wouldn't rebel.
your
I wouldn't.
your heritage?
No.
Well, it is a German car now.
There
but
are things I love. I like actually the British things about it. I love that you can get the Union Jack in the tail lights. I love.
yeah, sorry, isn't it a Union flag unless it's on a boat?
No, apparently you can use both now interchangeably. I don't know whether
I got scolded once for that, and now
No,
you're
I know.
telling me that
I
I
know.
was okay to say that?
the crisscrossy red, blue, white thing, and you can get it on the roof, and it's just fun. There is now a brand new Mini, so
Yeah.
this is technically last year's JCW,
Yeah.
but still you can have it in 2024. It's $35,000 starting. You get 228 horsepower from a turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder, and still sub 3,000 pound curb weight.
What makes those cars fun for me is just the feeling of the front axle. Like, we've driven a couple old Minis, right? And you
Yes.
know how that you kind of have that, like, it's like the front axle location where you feel the front move from to your reference point is very Mini.
Yes.
It's like distinctly Mini.
Yeah, it feels square.
Yeah, it feels square. And the newer, all the newer ones they've ever made, I think captured that feeling a little bit as well, right? So you've
Yeah.
got that front cuts in a really exciting way. They're good to drive. I like them.
I think it looks the bee's knees still. I think
Yeah.
the interior, that sort of jukebox interior, has
Yeah.
always been really fun.
Not Mini anymore, but
They're not that mini.
they're Mini shaped.
No, but if you get this in the 3-door and it's a JCW, it's not big and it's not heavy, but it is front-wheel drive. And I used to hear JCW and I'd always think that was a Golf R competitor.
Right.
But it's really GTI in terms of power.
Yeah, yeah.
And as we discovered, they can be optioned really highly in price. The convertible we drove was like 50
Because
something.
there's about 1 million versions of it,
This
right?
is the base.
Yeah.
And I think if you can add one of the packages to it, just to get some of the comforts and maybe the sunroof,
Yep. Yeah,
Um,
not a bad idea.
and you're still sub 40.
Speaking of being a competitor too, the next one on the list is the GTI.
Golf GTI, which did share 228 horsepower as a number, but now it's 241.
But most importantly, the GTI is getting an interior update.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
So now the funness of the GTI is not offset by the reality of your poor decisions when you purchase a vehicle to have to deal with certain types of bad interior design.
Yes, it does get.
Mr. Golf R.
It does get. Well, this is not a personal thing. This is for you. It does. get
Where are you going?
the capacitive touch.
Yes, is no longer
on the GTI. It is still on the R. So I couldn't have done anything differently. The GTI does get a bigger screen in the middle, but yes, the buttons on the steering wheel now. It's a bit of a cheap move by VW, but because they've gone back to the base steering wheel.
Yeah,
it's not a new non-capacitive touch steering wheel. They've just said, okay, people don't like capacitive touch, solid buttons.
I will say that the GTI, though, on our list, I think is one of the. It's still a very fun car, but it's one of the least fun on our list to drive.
Yes, it's a better at being an all-rounder.
Yeah, it's more good than it is fun.
Yes, that's the VAG thing.
I know
that's all Audis, Porsches, Volkswagens, apart from Lambos.
Like you don't get a GTI because you want a hyper engaging little hot hatch. You get it because you want a really quick, fun, cool daily.
Yes,
like, that's what a GTI
and
is.
It does comfort better than its competitors in most places.
Yeah.
It does
front axle hop better than most of its.
It does have an aggressive hop. That's if you're absolutely flooring it.
Yeah.
If you just want to drive it gingerly.
Yeah. It's a great car, it really is. And can you still get the houndstooth or checkerboard seats, whatever they're called?
You can get that, and you can in base form, it's 31,965 starting. You don't get the dynamic chassis, you don't get the adaptive dampers, you don't get the fancy speaker system, but you do still get. It's quick. It's quick.
Yeah, they're actually quite quick.
Yeah.
Like I think you get a base GTI, you put a rear sway bar on it so it rotates a little bit more, and you put your own sound system in it, and bing bang boom, you got a really fun little car.
But not quite as fun.
No.
As the next one on our list. Ad. We're going to put an ad there.
We're going to put an ad there?
Maybe YouTube's algorithm will figure it out. The Hyundai Elantra N.
Speaking of Hyundai.
I know I get a bit of flack for saying Hyundai the way.
He's right though.
It is right. There was no one's dumb. I will say that. In England they say we'll do a video. I think we should do a video on this. But in England they say Hyundai,
right?
And in America they say Hyundai because there was a marketing campaign. There was Hyundai,
right,
like
Sunday.
Sunday, yeah. Whereas now that Hyundai are trying to re-educate the world. I saw an ad when I was in England. For actually it's not Hyundai, it's Hyundai.
If you think you know our cars and how to say our name, maybe it's time to think again.
Hyundai, not Highland Eye.
Oh, it's Hyundai, by the way.
Hyundai. Search Hyundai.
It's the dawn of a new Hyundai.
Hyundai.
So
yeah,
I think back then they didn't think people could adjust, but they've watched the whole world have to sort of adapt to everyone now, and those muscles have now been flexed. So
anyway, the Elantra N. This is one of those like weird cars that like it is way more fun than you think it's even going to be.
Yes, and
I love driving the Elantra.
It's been facelifted.
Oh, that's right.
So now it doesn't have.
It's not missing a bumper.
It's not got the dentist mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
So for 33,700 starting, you get a whopping 276 horsepower, which is significant.
That's a significant amount of horsepower. Yeah.
It's over 3,000 pound curb weight, but not by much, and it's a turbocharged 4. And Thomas loves it. He loves it.
I really love this car. Seriously, I've honestly considered buying one of these as a little fun daily. It's not the speed in the straight line that makes it fun. It's just the way it feels in the corners. It's just the chassis is excellent. The steering is excellent. The damping is excellent. Like it's really well balanced. It feels just. Also, did you see the lap time it did on our leaderboard?
Highly impressive.
Don't remember what it is, but I'll throw it up right now. And yeah, it is just.
Would you get it with the manual or the DCT?
This is actually one of those cars where I would be happy with. It depends on what I was doing with the car. If it was actually my daily and I knew I was going to be doing Toronto traffic every day and there's going to be a ton of stop and go, I would get the DCT because it's still fun.
Yeah.
Right. But the manual is a good time in the Elantra, and I like it.
But was this the manual that the whole team
stalled
apart from me?
Yeah, no, it wasn't apart from you. It was apart from you and me.
No, you stalled for sure.
I stalled it for sure.
Yeah.
There's something weird about the bite point is funky or something. Yeah, it's
Yeah. Fantastic vehicle.
It is.
For some, it lacks in desirability. Even parting with over $30,000 US for a Hyundai is tough. However, the N department seems to be doing some very exciting stuff at the moment, and I think.
Also, I will say I haven't personally looked into the realities of those engines in terms of reliability, but I have heard some things.
My worry is that 5-10 years later it will feel like a Hyundai. Like it will start to like rattle and feel cheap in a way that like maybe...
All the leathers get shiny.
Yeah, in a way
Yeah.
that like a Honda might not. I don't know. That's
Yeah.
that's speculation.
It is speculation, but grounded in facts. Anyway, the next one is...
Yeah, if your heart bleeds for America and you're anti-Korea, then this one's going to appeal to you.
the Camaro 1LT.
So when we drove a 1LT, 1LE, it was a 4-cylinder.
Right.
It was a turbocharged 4, but that got
Yep.
discontinued for 2024, which, by the way, Randy Popst owns.
Yes,
the
it's
4-cylinder.
also a very fun car.
So it became the 6-cylinder was the only way to get the 1LT, and that again, this is something you can't build anymore. You have to go buy a 24 off a dealer lot. But the 1LT is a 6-cylinder, 3.6 liter V6, 335 horsepower, 284 pound-feet of torque, and $32,000 starting.
Yeah, see, here's the thing about this, is that the powertrain is actually irrelevant to me. Like, I don't care what's under the hood of that car. Like, put a hive of bees, a cheese grater, a sewing machine. Push me down a hill. I
EV?
don't care. Sure, as long as it doesn't affect the weight. Because what makes that car fun is the way it feels in the corners, the chassis, the damping, the stiffness, like the steering is so good. So it's less about getting the V6 Camaro, it's more about getting a Camaro.
Yes.
Period. For
Because
that
you
price.
get a rear-wheel drive, front-engined American
Yeah.
pony car
Yeah.
with one of the best chassis.
Yeah,
out there.
easily. Yeah.
And I even looked, you can the LT1, which is the beginning of the V8, if you get a base LT1, they start at 38. So that's technically sub 40 and you get a V8 Camaro.
Interesting.
But then I think when we did drive the LT1, it did feel quite base compared to the SS.
Yes.
So
yeah.
maybe go for a well-spec'd 6-cylinder and that knocks you up. But
Okay, how much is the 1LE?
1LT, 1LE?
1LT, 1LE. Probably a good chunk more, but like...
It might be 7 or 8 though. It might keep you at around 40. And then
yeah,
that's,
because that would be...
Yeah.
I think I would sooner do a V6 1LE than a base V8.
that's fair.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Unless I knew that aftermarket was going to be able to support for not that much money to
Yeah.
make the... Well, there's cooling and stuff with the 1LE. I don't know.
But brilliant car
Very
and
good.
no sign of it coming back anytime soon. So,
Which is get one while you can.
yes. The next car is slightly controversial.
The car or our take on it? Or our putting it
The
on this
world's
list?
take, the sort of attitude towards it as,
Okay.
as it's been out for a while now.
Yep.
The Toyota GR Corolla.
This is on the list purely because of... I don't want to say because there's nothing else. That's not true. I just mean because of what you get for the price.
Yeah, for $36,500 starting, which is
Yeah.
the core.
Yeah.
And there's a big asterisk to this because this is a car that's still probably getting marked up in places, which means the base price, they're probably still hard to find. But our rule was MSRP, so
What's up?
complain to the board. 300 horsepower, 273 pound-feet of torque, all-wheel drive, square, GR Yaris-inspired rally thing
Yep.
with a manual.
It's pretty awesome, really, when you think about what you're getting. Yeah, the fact that it's a manual, period alone, is enough for most people to go like, I want that car. But it's just also cool.
Yeah,
It's
so
just
it's a
cool.
turbocharged 3-cylinder.
It's just fun.
Yeah, which is people have been begging Toyota and Subaru to put that into the BRZ 86 twins.
Right, but what apparently we've heard that power plant is going to land in some Toyota MX-5 competitor.
Rumors.
Rumors.
Yeah,
It's like a 2+2 or something. It looks a bit poo. But
no, that I don't think it's going to look like that.
it better not look like that.
No. Anyway, that's not what this is about. The
Okay.
GR Corolla.
Yeah.
Fun. Way more fun if you can get it onto a low traction surface. That's sort of where it shines.
I think so, yeah.
Doesn't do the daily stuff as well as a Golf R or GTI,
No.
but yeah.
But it is cool. It's cool. Like, when I see a GTI go by, I go, there's a... Like, I don't
You don't
say...
say
Actually, I
anything.
don't say
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
Like, my day goes on. But if a GR Corolla goes by me, I go, ooh. Like, you notice it.
Yeah,
'Cause
especially in that new blue.
Oh, it's good. Yeah.
I want to remember it now.
Oh, no. Here we go.
No, we got it.
Okay.
I haven't got it. I keep thinking like Shark Blue.
It's
Boost
Blue Flame.
The Blue Flame. I had it on the tip of my tongue.
I remembered that.
You
Yeah.
remember that? Thank you, Joey. Blue Flame GR Corolla. Highly desirable car.
It is, yeah.
I would stretch. I know this goes against our rules. I would stretch for the circuit. You get the little air vents. You get some cool things.
Yeah. As I said at the beginning, a lot of these are like, here's what you can get for under 40 grand, but like, if you can stomach slightly more, you can probably get a fair bit more. Just watch the trim levels of each of these, right? This is a good example of that, actually. The next one here.
Yes, because no car has more trims than a Jeep Wrangler.
Than a Jeep Wrangler.
Actually, probably the Broncos and 4Runners. This whole section has so many trims.
Because there's so many different things you can do with a Jeep or a Bronco that they have to. Like, if you're buying a GR Corolla, you're just buying a GR Corolla. It's going to do that one thing, but you can buy a Jeep for daily use. You can buy a Jeep for off-roading, for rock crawling, for overlanding, for like there's like so many different things you can do with it. So they have to have that many trims. But this particular one is the...
We went with the two-door Willys,
Yeah.
which is up from the normal Sport. It knocks you to 39,495, so right up at the 40 grand mark.
Yeah.
You get 285 horsepower, 260 pound-feet of torque, 3.6 litre V6.
With the rear locking diff.
With the rear locking diff, yeah.
In the Willys,
in the
yeah.
Willys, yeah.
Yep.
So you can do some serious off-roading.
Yeah.
You can take the doors off. You can take your clothes off.
Hold on. There's too many steps. We don't even do all the things. No, you take your clothes off if the doors aren't off. That's how it works. So
Not
you
if
can just...
Not if you're brave.
Okay. Anyway, the reason this is on the list is because it's not particularly fun to physically drive like a...
No, but it's an event.
But it's cool. You can take the doors and the roof off.
And your clothes.
That is fun.
Buy a Jeep Wrangler.
Yeah.
Become a sex offender. The next car.
Anyway.
The Subaru WRX.
This just gets on the list because it exists. It's a small all-wheel drive manual car.
Class of 1.
It's a class of 1 for the price.
Yeah, so 32,725 starting.
Yeah.
It is a 271 horsepower Boxer 4 turbo. It is quick.
It is actually quite
genuinely quick.
Yeah.
There was actually a great comparison because this very much, like we say class of 1, a GR Corolla sort of clashes with it. Savage Geese just did a great comparison video of these two. And his conclusion was that the WRX doesn't achieve the highs and the funness of the GR Corolla, but is a more livable, dailyable car and is much more affordable.
That makes sense, yeah.
So, yeah.
It's definitely much more affordable. I mean, it is... The WRX is, I've always said this, is boring unless you are on some sort of a loose surface.
Yeah.
Snow, gravel, whatever it is. That's when it's actually fun. Otherwise, I think you're better off with an Elantra N. Or like if you live in a place where it never snows and it hardly ever rains, don't buy a WRX expecting it to be in a super engaging car. You're better off with the Elantra N or the GTI or the BRZ or whatever it is.
100%.
If you live in a place where you really want all-wheel drive because 6 months of the year is snow, ding 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 Canada, then it starts to make sense really quickly.
But it's a spacious cabin.
Mm-hmm.
Its looks have been a bit more polarizing this generation because of the big plastic diaper.
Don't love the way it looks, but that's okay.
But yeah, class of 1, $32,000. Apparently it's the best-selling sports car in Canada.
Is it a sports car? Sporty car?
Best-selling sports car in Canada.
Okay.
Says my mum. I question the source. I'll find the source.
Okay.
All right, which leaves us with the final car on our list, which is a sub £3,000, measly 200 horsepower, 1.5 litre turboed 4.
Is it? You know what it is? It's the Civic Si.
Civic Si. It's also the cheapest on this list, 29,100 starting.
Yep. That is very cheap.
It's handsome.
Yep.
It's reasonably quick.
Reasonably quick. That's the phrase. Yep.
Great shifter. You can absolutely hoon this thing.
Yep.
And we do every time we get in it, we drive it like I don't know, it feels like it's not going to break. So you just
you just pound on it. Well, it's in order to extract the most fun out of it, I think you do have to drive it like that.
Yes.
Because it's otherwise just kind of a nice car. Like,
a
it
nice
just feels
car.
like a Civic.
We
right?
get spoiled in Canada as well because RSI has the shift lights and
Yeah, we get
some
some more
other things
stuff.
like heated. I think the heated seats or heated steering wheel.
Something like that,
We
yeah.
get something America doesn't.
Yeah. Free healthcare.
Um,
So Civic Si is one of those cars that, I said it without a "the" in front of it. I hate
Civic Si.
No, you can't do that. Only like PR reps for manufacturers refer to cars as if they're names.
Yeah, and that's going to
Civic
bite them in
Si
the
has
arse,
been
isn't it?
selling really well for us. No, it's the Civic Si. Is a
What
"the" in front.
How did Cadillac refer to their new EV?
Is it?
Because I really think they should start adding a "the," you know.
Yeah.
Because once Vistic comes along, you know,
We're gonna get old.
I can't wait for that car
Our
to come
whole
out.
video is just gonna be.
This is just the beginning.
Vistic jokes.
If you missed it, Cadillac are coming out with an EV called the Vistic. But in
No, it's just called Vistic.
it's Vistic.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh man, that is just the biggest error in automotive history.
that's going to be a hard one for them to swallow.
Yeah.
I feel like we got off topic here.
Yeah, a little
The
bit.
Civic Si,
Yeah.
not
Okay.
quite as fun as the Elantra N, but feels more longevity.
Hold on, back up. It is significantly not nearly as fun as
Not
the
nearly as
Elantra
fun.
N.
But I think it feels more honest. The Elantra N has so much gadgetry and noises. We said it was the $30,000 jukebox because it is.
Yeah, it's got way too much going on.
Different sounds.
No question.
The steering weight you like, I'm not big on.
Yep.
The Civic Si just feels much more natural, and I think it will age better. Just saying.
Interesting.
Just saying.
Interesting. Maybe.
And 29,000 starting, like
Yeah.
that's a great price for the
Yep.
performance, mid-performance trim of a Civic.
Unfortunately, like, it's not nearly what Civic Si's used to be. Right? It used to rev,
They haven't been that
and they
for
haven't been like
ages.
for a long time. The 1.5 liter is borderline. It's borderline, that engine. Like, it still qualifies as fun,
Yeah,
but it's just not that fun. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I
Yeah.
know what you mean. All right, so those are our 10 most fun new cars under $40,000 US. And that's kind of all you got. Like, it's not even ours. Like, that's the whole list.
Yeah, you know what this is? This is a list of cars under $40,000 US.
We'll check in 4 years again
Yeah.
with the under 50,000s.
Yeah, that's right. If we're going by percentage, it'll be more than that. It's gonna suck.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Anyway,
Why didn't the Mustang EcoBoost make it on the list?
well,